Welcome to the Aquila framework. Aquila is our fourth generation WordPress theme architecture. Over the last 4 years, we've added more and more features to take advantage of the growing uses of our WordPress themes. In this brief tour, I'm going to show you the standard features of the framework. First, welcome to the framework landing page. On this page, you'll find the latest help material, although none showed right here, related to your theme. You can find this landing page by clicking on the tab indicated to the left here. Along the top, you're going to find a number of tabs. The first of these is the General tab, which has all types of globally used settings. The Quick Start settings are the basics of what you need to configure first. The Logo sub-tab allows you to upload or select a graphic logo. Social networks, where you can define your profile page for a number of different social networks, and this is used throughout your WordPress theme. Custom code allows you to specify analytics code or specially defined code that needs to be either before the end of the head tag or the end of the body tag, or even some custom CSS. The footer area, where you can specify custom copyright or powered by message. And then the 404 page configurations allows you to specify a message and show certain things if someone were to try to request a page that did not exist. Moving along to the Layouts tab, this is really one of our biggest changes to come to our framework. For each page layout in our system, you can have a number of different columns set up for each region. So the top region in the theme that I'm currently working on here has a menu in it. The menu is off to the left, and then a contact box off to the right. In a different theme, we might have it set up differently. In the header top region, typically we have a phone number. In the header main region, we would have a logo off to the left and possibly something optionally off to the right, so on and so forth. In the default layout, this is our settings here. For each different layout, we could have a different configuration for each region, because on each page we can specify a different sidebar to assign to each region as well. It can get quite in-depth. Usually the settings, as you see here upon initial setup, are going to be adequate for 99% of people, and we would probably recommend, if you're not really into delving deep into the layouts of things and you just want to go with how you saw the theme set up in the demo, then just stick with what you got here. Moving along, the Typography tab, this is where you can set up your font styles and type. So you can set your size, your font, family, your weight, or your color if you want to specify that. Typically, again, the settings that are defined within the theme already should be adequate. However, we do give you the option of customizing a number of different items. Off to the left, you're going to see that there are a number of different options as well here. FAQs and team members are called custom post types. Now, if you're familiar with WordPress, you know what a custom post type is. It's basically just a post, but the system will recognize that it's different than a normal post and treat that information slightly different. And you can organize this information, obviously, group them together as team members or staff members or whatever you want to have for your website. If you're doing this for a school, then these would probably be staff or educators or something like that, and then you can group them into departments as well as FAQs. You might have a certain type of frequently asked question. It might belong in service or maybe sales or maybe support, and that's what the categories are all about there. Up here you're going to see that there's a number of different options as well. These are not necessarily custom post types, although testimonials is, but they will be taken advantage of by different regions of the theme. The sliders are the image sliders that you're going to see at the top of perhaps the landing page. The contact forms, obviously it's a contact form, and you can have as many as you like and place them on different pages. And testimonials, which will show up in our testimonial rotator. A couple different parts of the theme system as well is if you go to your pages, you're going to see that each page has a template associated with it. And when you change the template, we're just going to shrink that up there so you can see. When you change the template, the settings in the page configuration area are going to change. And so depending upon the layout, you're going to have different features here. and there will be a video associated with the different features for different page layouts. So I encourage you to go and take a look at those as well. Along with the special features as you may find in the photo slideshow, as well as, say, the contact page. If I go take a look at the business homepage, you're going to see that there's a general tab where you can specify a specific drop-down menu, or you can use the default widget, and a number of other items, as well as the slider, because the homepage allows a slider, and the sidebars. Now every page will have different regions which are modifiable by yourself. You can specify in the SEO region whether or not you want to use the SEO sidebar or not at all, or maybe put a different sidebar that's currently available in that region. And so in some layouts, such as the default layout, a lot of these regions will be configurable. However, if you're specifying a predefined layout, such as the home page or the blog or the contact page, some of those sidebars may not be available. Speaking of sidebars, you can go and create as many sidebars as you like. You go to the appearance and then down to manage sidebars. This is where you can actually delete them, but you can also add a sidebar. Now think of a sidebar. Oops, looks like there's a temporary hiccup there. So you can add as many sidebars as you like. So I'm going to just add an example so that you can see what we're doing here. Again, if we go to the widgets area, this is where we go and define all of our widgets and where we place them. So there's a region called top, which is used more or less on every page. Header top, header main. If we scroll down here, we're going to see that sidebar example widget area that I just created. And it's easy to get sidebars and widgets and widget areas confused. Think of it like this. A sidebar is a widget area. A sidebar region, or a region that we define on the pages where for every region you can specify a sidebar. A region is just a place within the page that we have defined. And we may call it the same as the sidebar because it makes sense, and the top is equal to top. And we try to also name the widget areas appropriately. This is typically something that you would have in the top. But we leave the flexibility there so that if you wanted to, in these, as I mentioned earlier, in the SEO region, assign a different sidebar called, I don't know, how about example widget area, and place something else differently within there, then this is what's going to show up in the SEO region, is going to be the example widget area sidebar. It can be a bit confusing if you're not well versed in WordPress sidebars, and even if you are, we've basically taken it a step further and given a number of different regions which you can assign a number of different sidebars. But going on into the widget control panel here, you're going to notice that we've created a number of widgets which will be denoted by the Aquila or eagle logo, as you see there. You're also going to see there's going to be a nice little icon that's representing what it is exactly the component is going to do. So you're going to see here that in the top region we're going to see a custom menu, and for every widget you're going to see that there's going to be a little button up at the top here, show help videos, and when you do that you're going to see that there's a video that corresponds to this particular component. Now, as you've probably seen me add here, all you have to do to add an item to a widget area is just have the widget area open and click and drag and then drop. You can rearrange as well. One of the things that is unique to our particular framework is that, as you noticed on the framework layouts page earlier, we can have columns. Well, how do we denote what goes in what column? Well, for example, here we have a menu and then a column break, which means that we're going to start a new column, and then in the next column we're going to put the contact widget. However, what if we wanted something underneath the custom menu, such as a list of categories? So this is going to be then in the first column, and then this starts a new column, and this is going to be in the second column. So you can list items, although it's not the way that WordPress have them set up here. Everything goes, vertically, but this denotes that essentially this is going to appear off to the right. So you can stack widgets, and then as soon as you want a new column, you add a column break, which is right here. And so you can drag that over here. If we had a 3-column layout, this is what we would do, and we would place that there like that. So you have a menu and then a new column, and then in the center column you have the contact form menu, and then another column break, and then the categories. As we have it set up in this particular theme and this particular layout, that's probably not the best use of that space. I'm going to go and delete this, and then also remove this particular column break. So that is more or less the basic tour of our system. Should you find that you go through all of the available help material and videos and not find the answer to your question, please feel free to submit it via your account so that we can add it to our knowledge base.